Homemade chicken flautas. Let me tell you why we love these so much. I've been making these homemade flautas for around 12 years, and I have just recently started making them in the last year or two with homemade tortillas, which I think brings them to a whole nother level. You don't have to make them with homemade tortillas, but if you learn to make tortillas, you'll soon realize how easy they are and how delicious they are. But on to why we love these so much. Not only are they like a meal you can hold, but they also freeze extremely well. So this is one of those meals I'm always going to make enough for dinner or lunch, and I'm going to freeze the rest because they're so nice to have on hand. If you want to see how easy these tortillas are to make, I have the video pinned in the description. To make the filling, I cook an entire bone-in chicken in my Instant Pot, and I shred all of the meat off of it and into a bowl. You want to have about 4 cups of chicken. To the bowl of warm chicken, I add 1 block of softened cream cheese, 2 cups of Monterey Jack shredded cheese, some lime juice, some green salsa, and a list of spices like cumin, garlic powder, onion powder, salt. I've got the whole thing listed out for you. I also add in a little bit of cilantro normally, but I actually forgot this time, so it's still sitting in my fridge. I like to mix this while the chicken is warm so that it helps the cream cheese and Monterey Jack cheese melt a tiny bit and just distribute evenly throughout. Now in this video, the chicken I'm working with is actually cold, but I mixed it all while everything was hot and I stuck it in the fridge for the next day when I had time to make the tortillas. You'll see that I like to fill these pretty full. And these are a flauta and not a taquito because flautas are made with a flour tortilla typically, and a taquito is made with a corn tortilla. And that's why these are called chicken flautas. So anyways, I packed this in here really tight. I like to have it nice and full and, hearty. This is meant to be kind of a meal on the go for my family. Once everything is nice and wrapped up, you're going to place that seam side down on your baking sheet, and you're going to spray them or brush them with a little bit of olive oil. That just helps them get crispy, and I like to sprinkle them with a little bit of my Redmond's real salt or sea salt. It just adds a little bit of flavor. You're going to bake these in the oven at 350 for 20 to 25 minutes until the edges get nice and crispy, and you'll see the seam side gets a little golden brown. You can flip them over if you want just to crisp them up on both sides, but you don't have to. However, if you're going to use these for meal prep and to stick in the freezer, I would only bake them for about 15 minutes, and that way when you bake them later, you aren't over crisping or burning the edges of the shell. Once these are baked, you can serve them with your favorite salsa, sour cream, whatever you choose. We typically like these with a green salsa because there's a green salsa in the chicken mixture, but they are super fast. They're easy for meal prep. You can freeze them. You can take them on the go. So anytime you need a quick meal and you've got some of these in the freezer, you can pop them in the oven for another 20-25 minutes and you've got a meal ready to go. I hope you enjoyed these. If you need the full recipe and all the directions, it's at hollishomestead.com.